Here's a picture of my car when I got off work one night. You can see that's about 10 inches of snow, maybe a little bit more, on a Monte Carlo Super Sport. It is front wheel drive, and the tires, I don't know, they were all weather, rated for mountain and snow, but do you think I was going to get home that night? Well, I did. I cleared out enough space to put my chains on, and I got home, made it home. There's 20, 30 cars left in the parking lot. Somebody had to come and get them. And I put my chains on and came home. Now this is the next day, pretty late in the evening by the shadows. Should have got out a little earlier. Took it. Somebody's already came, scraped the hill. But you know, putting the chains on got me home. You know, you make $150 a day. Can you go to work without? Can you miss work a couple of days because of snow? Get you some chains. I have had chains on most of my vehicles for the past 10 years. Never missed a day of work for weather. Never missed a day of work for weather. In fact, I've had some work call in saying, hey, don't come in. More people we've got will have to stay open. They call me and tell me not to come in. Get your chains. Go to work. This is a picture on one of the mountains around here. It's where my mom lives. I didn't need the chains to go all the way there, but getting up the mountain, you need them. You needed the chains. Now sometimes up at Mom's, you don't need chains. And like I said, I had chains on every four-wheel drive I own. And you can take a look at the tread pattern on that Blazer there. That's snow tires. That snow gets packed in there so tight and nothing sticks to snow like snow. And that's what gives you the good traction in snow. Now this is four-wheel drive. I probably didn't need it on this trip. She was without power, so we had to go up on the mountain and get her. Now my brother also, he has a Jeep. Had a Jeep back then, and but he lives close to the 4-lane, and he doesn't run with chains. But I am a true advocate of tire chains. When you need them, you've got them. I have a rear-wheel drive Silverado, and I run chains on it as well. I have had people with four-wheel drives call in to work. They can't get to work in their four-wheel drive. I have a two-wheel drive with chains, never missed a day. I have to cross a ridge and then go down into the valley, and sometimes it gets pretty icy. Here recently we did have some an ice storm just kind of came through unexpected, but I had the chains in the car, in the truck, just in case. Didn't need them, didn't use them. Could have used them, let's say. Did a little fishtailing coming up one of the mountains, but get you a set of tire chains. Can you imagine a four-wheel drive with tire chains? Learn how to put them on. I put my chains on in 10 minutes and be gone. Make sure you put them on right. Get to work early. Got chains on the front of this little Ford Focus here. Never missed a day of work. Freezing ice and snow. Look at all those cars in the back. They were just left overnight. They're everywhere back there. They're everywhere. Put your chains on, go home. Right here, you can. This is interesting because the Focus has chains on, and I used it to get back and forth to work 2 nights in a row. Didn't even dig out the four-wheel drive. Didn't even use it. You can tell it hasn't been moved. The four-wheel drive hasn't been moved. You don't need it. Well, as long as they've scraped the road a little bit, you know, here and there, I probably couldn't have gone too far in the Focus if it was deep and, you know, 7, 8 inches deep. You ain't going nowhere anyway. But you could in the Blazer. And then the hills that we live on and traverse, it's not going to hurt you to put chains on. You're going to have that traction. But I like this one because we didn't even use the Blazer. Didn't even use it. Now, we did use it later. Well, I had to go over and get the kids. They were on top of a mountain. They weren't stuck. Well, they were, you know, power was out. They had no heat. So we had to use the Blazer with chains on to get to them. And we could only get really halfway to them because the trees were down. But there was 2 4-wheel drive vehicles wrecked on the side of the same hill that I went up. Took my time, had chains on. I put them on in the back going up, and I wanted to change them over to the front coming back down so I'd have some traction, some steering. But I left them on the back, and it kind of got a little hairy where that one 4-wheel drive had wrecked. I was afraid I'd slide over into him, but it didn't happen, and we came off the mountain okay. But, you know, we used the Blazer to go get, and, you know, there was more people in the vehicle than should have been by law because of seatbelts, but we were hoping, you know, any policeman would understand that we were, you know, on a mission to get these kids off of this mountain. And you know, just exploring. You've got the chains in case you need them, in case it's ice. This is a campground high up in the mountains, and if it is ice, the next morning you can get down. You can get off the mountain, and go to work. Let's take a look at some of the vehicles that didn't have chains on them. 4-wheel drives, no chains. No one was hurt. This was the day we came off of the mountain, and well, it was a couple of days later, I believe. A couple of days later, I think we were taking the kids back up, and you know, this guy clearly 4-wheel drive, Chevy Blazer, Ford maybe, Ford Blazer. I'm not sure. Ford probably. You know, he's got to have, should have had a vehicle good enough to get up that little hill right there, but it was ice. It was ice. In my, I don't know what happened, but in my theory, he got halfway up, and he just couldn't hold it, and it slid down into the ditch. That's the only thing I can think of. And then, of course, he's high-sided. He can't get any traction on that right front right there. That's a Ford, I guess. That's a Ford Bronco. Big Ford Bronco. Now, I used to have Ford Broncos. But here's the Monte Carlo with chains.
Okay, here we go. Okay, it was suggested that I do a stop and go. So we're going to go up here, we're going to stop, and then we're going to pull out again. Now this is the bad part. This is where everybody messes up right here. So I'm going to stop. Okay, I'm not sliding or anything. You can see I'm stopped. And here we go. We'll see what happens. A little bit of spin. No traction control yet. I don't recommend stopping. Keep your momentum going, but if you had to, Peerless Tire Chains.